This packet here, the one that I gave you on Tuesday, and when we're done with that, we'll call it a day. I don't know how long it's going to take. And then tomorrow we'll go through the other one. And then Alyssa will be happy to know that we'll do mostly the same again next week.
Are you talking about mine?
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, I'm going to give you guys a test to work on as a test on your own quietly.
This
and then
week, right?
a week from Friday, I'll
use notes
give you a, no, can't use notes on a straight test. Well, just let me, please. Okay? So it'll be sort of like a practice test dealio. And then Monday, we'll go over the answers for that, so you can see how you did on that. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll take the same thing. Yeah.
Is this going to be like grading from the grade book?
The one a week from Friday. Yes.
Question, the practice one is?
Yes.
Okay. Next week, do we test at all for? Yes.
No.
We don't do it until grade 6 and 7.
So I'm going to give you a practice one, like a practice final on Friday, a practice for the
Is that
state.
going to be like, is that going to go in the grade book as a test?
I don't know, I'll figure it out. Okay, so number one, what is the sum of the interior angle measures of a polygon with 15 sides? So, like Richard asked, can you use notes on this, and you can't. And so, if you remember this formula, then that's awesome. If you don't, you might want to write it down so you can take some time to go through that the night before or whatever. What's the formula for figuring out the measures of the interior angles? 180 times, we usually use n, but x is fine also. The number of sides take away 2 is how many triangles you can make. There's 100, Greg, can you get it? There's 180 degrees in each one of those triangles. So you just need to figure out how many triangles you can make and multiply that by 180. So if I have 15 sides, then I can make 13 triangles. So 13 times 180 degrees came out to be what? 2,340. So that's, okay. Any questions on that? Okay, then number 2 has this crazy funky drawing. And you have to figure out what's going on with that. And so in order to solve this problem, you have to remember something that's true about the exterior angles of a polygon. Good, because they go all the way around the polygon, they will add up to 360 degrees. And so how many R's do we have there all together? 24, because 8 plus 7 plus 5 plus 4 is 24. So we have a total of 24 R's. Like Alyssa said, they have to add up to a total of 360 degrees. Divide both sides by 24. Then R equals 15 degrees or 15 or whatever. Okay? And that is a fill in the blank, so you have to come up with that one on your own. All right. Number 3, we have to remember some stuff about kites. And so what do you remember about kites?
4 sides.
4 sides. Okay. What else? What's true about the diagonals of a kite? They are perpendicular to each other. Okay. So it says in this kite, KLP, this one right here. Whoa. Oh, so I guess it's not a kite. Oh no, sorry. KLP is 72 degrees. So this is going to be a 90-degree angle. HJP is 49.5, so HJP is right here. Whoop. Nope. HJP, and here's K, and here's L. All right, sorry. HJP is 49.5. And we need to figure out what's the measure of LHJ, which is this whole angle right there. What do you do?
49.5 plus 90 equals 139.5.
Okay, so Alyssa's going to look at this triangle right here first. And she knows that this is a 90-degree angle also. 49.5 plus 90 is 139.5.
That was from 180.
Okay, so 180 minus that.
And then you get 40.5 times by 2.
And that gives you 40.5, and so since this angle right here is 40.5, and since it's a kite, that angle right there is also 40.5, so the whole thing adds up to 81 degrees. Which was answer choice C. You did it a different way without seeing it, sir?
Because it's, the top part makes it isosceles.
Okay. Yep, so you can do it that way too. Okay, good. So basically, you're using triangles to come up with that. All right, next one. Now we have a trapezoid. More than just a trapezoid, though. What kind of trapezoid is this? It's what? All right, so in trapezoid WXYZ, the measure of angle WZY is 61 degrees. So this entire thing right here is 61 degrees. And we are asked to find out what the measure of WXY is, this angle over here. How do you do that? Don't what add up to 180? The opposite ones, they do in this case because it's an isosceles one, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because the lines are parallel.
Right?
Those are, they're
Yeah, what you guys are both doing is sort of taking advantage of the fact that it's isosceles, which is okay, I mean, you're right, but really what you're thinking is this is 61, so this one has to add up to 180 with it, so it's going to be 119, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then since this is an isosceles trapezoid, what's true about this angle here and this angle here? They're both 119 degrees. Okay, so that comes out to be 119. And so like you said, in this case also, this one and the one opposite adds up to 180 degrees, but I just want you to be careful with that because that's not always the case.
Yes, sir.
That's sir, yes, sir.
Are we going to be in here and take the geometry test?
It'll just be normal schedule, regular day.
Oh, really? It only takes like an hour.
Well, it's 3 days and it takes less than an hour each day, but yeah.
He's coming here.
Just coming here just like you normally would, and no big deal. Okay, number 5. Ann is making paper stars for party decorations. What's the measure of angle 1? Are we thinking that's this angle right here?
Yeah, that's
It's kind of hard for me to tell from the diagram. That's what we're going with? Yeah? Okay, so we have a pentagon in the middle. Not just a pentagon, but a regular pentagon. So what can we do with that? Find the angles. And so to find the individual angles, I first need to find out what they all add up to. What do they all add up to? 540, because this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. 5 minus 2 is 3, so I'm going to get 3 triangles with 180 degrees each. So that's a total of 540 degrees inside this pentagon. Okay?
But we're doing outside of that.
Right. We'll get to that in a second. So if this adds up to 540 degrees and they're all the same, how do I find the individual ones? Divide by 5. So that means each individual angle here on the inside is 108 degrees. So that tells me one on the outside is going to be what?
Didn't you just said 360 divided by 5?
72, because these are supplementary. What did you say, Alyssa?
I said I did 360 divided by 5.
Oh, because you said there's a, this is an exterior angle of the, okay, yep, that's a good way to do it too. Good call. Okay. Then we start getting into a little bit of stuff with coordinate geometry. So we're talking about midpoints. And again, if this is not something that you remember on your own, then you should probably write it down so you can review it. How do you find the midpoint of 2 points? Add the x's together and divide by 2, and then add the y's together and divide by 2. So that's a formula that we have used during the year, okay? All right, so let's take a look at, also what's true about, while we're on it, let's say what's true about parallel lines? What's true about the slopes of parallel lines? Okay, so parallel lines have equal slopes. That's why they don't cross. And what is true about the slopes of perpendicular lines? Opposite reciprocals of each other.
No. I was just going to ask this.
Too bad. Okay, so those are some things hopefully that you can remember. So let's do some problems now. Number 1 says find the midpoint of those 2 points. And so one of the things that kids often struggle with or get wrong or whatever with midpoints is there's 2 answers. There's an x coordinate and a y coordinate, so you have to do both. Don't get it confused with a distance formula or something like that. So if I add the x coordinates together, what do I get?
6.
6, and then I take that and divide it by 2 and get 3. So hopefully you can see 3 is right in between -2 and 8. It's 5 away from there, it's 5 away from there. Right, and then 6 plus 0 is 6, divided by 2 is also 3. This 3 is halfway between 6 and 0. So my answer there is D. Right? Okay, and then number 2, you have to go backwards. It tells you that one endpoint is 1, -7, and then it says the midpoint is 9, 3, and you need to find the coordinates of the point on the other side of the segment. Okay? So how far is 9 from 1? 8. So since that's in the middle, then that means we have to go 8 more to get to the other one, right? No? Okay, so where would I end up then? 17. Because I went 1 plus 8 to get to 9, so I have to go plus 8 more, which gets me at 17. How far away is 3 from -7? What? 10. -7 plus 10 is 3, so then I go 3 plus 10 and get 13. So my midpoint, which they actually label as M, I guess, yeah. Or not midpoint, but the other point is 17, 13, which is B. Okay? Yes. All right, so now it says point P is the center of the circumscribed circle around triangle ABC. Find the coordinates of point P, so find the coordinates of the center of that circle if we know the vertices of the triangle. What do you want to do there? Oh, that's funny, thanks. Anybody got any ideas? How do we solve this problem? No thanks. Anybody? No? Okay, what is this point? Where does the point come from that's the center of the circumscribed circle? Look in your points of concurrency notes. Which point is that? What does the circumcenter come from? From the perpendicular bisectors? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to figure out where this perpendicular bisector is, and one more, it doesn't matter which one, maybe this perpendicular bisector, and where those two things meet will tell us where the center is there. Okay? Does that make sense? Are you guys sure the circumcenter comes from the perpendicular bisector, or are you just making that up? Yeah, okay. All right. So what is the midpoint then of this point right here? Two numbers, remember? Not just 6, 6, 0. Okay, what is the slope of this line? 0, good, because this is 0 on the y, and this is also 0 on the y, so it doesn't go up at all. So what's the slope of this line?
What is the rest of it?
Yeah. What's the slope of this line?
0.
Right, it's undefined, okay? It's undefined because it's straight up and down. So what is the equation then for this line that goes straight up and down through the point 6, 0? No, that would be a 45-degree angle, y equals x. How do I find the equation of a line? I'll put a little coordinate thing up here that goes straight up and down like that. But the slope is undefined, and so that's not going to help us this time. This is one of those weird special cases. Yeah, where is it out on the x-axis? 6. So the equation for this line is x equals 6, because it goes straight up and down at 6, okay? So you know the x-coordinate of this is going to be 6. Now we need to find another one going this way. So what's the midpoint of this line? We could have done this one. I'm just well, actually, maybe we should do this one because 0, 0, 4, 8 is going to be a little easier, okay? So what's the midpoint of that segment right there? 2, 4. Okay, so we know that this line right here has a point 2, 4 on it. What is the slope of this line right here? Of AB? 1/2, because we went, no, not 1/2. It's 2, because we go up 8 over 4. So this one has a slope of 2. So if this one is perpendicular to it, what's its slope? Negative 1/2, because perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes, right? So how can I find an equation then for this line? No, just for this line. I'm not trying to find where they cross yet. Y equals mx plus b. Okay? What's y? 4, because it's the y coordinate of this point. What's m? Negative 1/2, because we figured out that was the slope. What's x? 2. And so I'm going to use that to solve for b. Negative 1/2 times 2 is negative 1. So if I add negative 1 to both sides, I get b equals 5. I know this is a huge, long, blah, 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 but now we've got it. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5 is the equation for this line right here. So if we know the x-coordinate is 6, how do I find out the y-coordinate? Plug it into there. So if I plug 6 into here, negative 1 times 6 is negative 3 plus 5 makes 2. So the y-coordinate would be 2. So the coordinates at that point would be 6, 2. Okay? That's a tricky one. Okay, let me, it might help if I draw this on a graph. Okay, so what we did is we had a circle. I'm going to cheat a little bit, okay? Because I already know the answer is 6, 2. Oh wait, did it go all the way to 12? Yeah, so I can't use this. Okay, so we had a circle, and we knew that it went through, wait, 0, 0, and 12, 0, right? Okay. And what was the other point? 4, 8? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a circle that goes through all of those points. And like I said, I'm going to cheat. I know its center is at. Okay, so that's our situation, right? And so we are trying to find the coordinates of this point. Okay? Oh, I forgot the triangle. I'll do this. All right, and then we know that it is circumscribed around this triangle. And so here was what our thought process was. We know that since this point is the circumcenter of this circle, that it comes from where the perpendicular bisectors of the side intersect. Okay? And so the first thing we needed to do is figure out the equation for this, the perpendicular bisector of this side right here. And that was really easy because if this has a length of 12, halfway in the middle is going to be 6, right? This has a slope of 0, so that means my line that goes through there is going to have a slope of straight up and down. Okay? And so the equation for this line right here is x equals 6. Does that make sense? Okay, now we need to find the equation for one of the other perpendicular bisectors to see where they cross. And we decided to take this one right here because the origin makes it a little bit easier. So the first thing we did is we recognized the midpoint is right there at 2, 4. Got that? Okay, so that gave us a point on the line. Then the other thing we need to come up with an equation for the line is the slope. And so we know the slope of this line is up 8 over 4, which is 2, right? And so we use the fact that since this is the perpendicular bisector, its slope is going to be the opposite reciprocal, which the opposite reciprocal of 2 is negative 1/2. So now we have the two pieces of information that we always need to come up with an equation for our line, slope, and a point. Okay? And so we used our old friend from algebra, y equals mx plus b. We plugged in 4 for y, negative 1/2 for m, and 2 for x. And then we solved that for b. Okay? So that gave us the equation for this line right here, which turns out to be y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. That's the y-intercept. That's what we got when we solved for b. Okay? Then, like you had any idea what we did. Then to figure out what the coordinates of this point are, we basically have to just set these two equations equal to each other. But since this already told us that x was 6, in order to do that, all we had to do was plug 6 into there. So y equals negative 1/2 times 6 plus 5, which is 2. Okay? Which is a lot. Hopefully you won't have to do something crazy like that. Okay, so where are we now? Number 4? Oh, Find the length of the radius of the described circle in problem 3 above. So now we have to find the radius. And so for that you need to use the distance formula. Okay? Anybody remember the distance formula? Between 2 points? Bless you. Oh, you guys better write this one down too. Actually, this might be, they might give you this formula on the test. The distance formula, you subtract the x's and square them, subtract the y's and square them, add them together and take the square root.
How are we supposed to remember that from?
We're gonna get killed.
No. Hey, no, I just said, they'll have this on the front page of the book.
Like the formulas?
Yeah, they'll probably.
Yeah, like seriously, how are we gonna remember all this?
I just told you, you don't have to.
You don't get to use notes on the test either.
No, that's correct. But they'll have some notes for you already too.
That's.
Okay, so the question is not how are we going to remember all this and how are we going to do it and all that kind of stuff. The question is how do I find the radius of that circle if I know that the center is at 6, 2 and these points are on the circle? How do I find the radius? The radius is what? How do I'm not asking you to like give me the answer, just throw out numbers. How would you figure it out? Really? No, okay. What's true about a circle? Same distance from the center to the side, right? So the distance from here to here would be the same as the distance from here to here, which would be the same as the distance from here to here. And what are those distances all called? Radius. So I just need to find the distance from this point to one of these 3 other points. Which one would, what's that? Uh-huh. Okay, yeah, let's choose 0, 0 because that's really easy. So I'm just trying to find the distance between 6, 2 and 0, 0. Okay? And the reason this formula works is because if, almost there. So I want to find the distance between 0, 0 and 6, 2. What I'm doing essentially is I need to find this, so I'm making a little right triangle. Okay? What's this length right here? 6. What's this length here? 2. And so to find that, what do I do?
Is it 3?
I don't think so. Yeah, I want to find the distance between these 2 points. I want to find the hypotenuse of that triangle. How do I do it? Yeah, Pythagorean theorem. So 6 squared plus 2 squared, and then I take the square root. So that's this formula right here. The way you get the 6 is by subtracting the x coordinates. The way you get the 2 is by subtracting the y coordinates, and then you square them, add them together, and take the square root. So 6 squared is 36. 2 squared is 4, so that answer is going to come out to be the square root of 40. Now, unfortunately, to make your life just a little bit more miserable than it already is, they have simplified that square root for you, and so you have to be able to match that. What is the biggest perfect square number that goes into 40 evenly? Not what's less than 40 goes into it evenly. 4. 40 is the same as 4 times 10. What's the square root of 4? 2. So this simplifies to 2 root 10, which is answer choice A. Guess that from the very beginning?
Well, I just, what I did is like on the circle, it said the diameter of the one line is 12, so I just divided it into 2 and got 6. So I kind of just rounded.
Oh, okay.
for all of
Got the
them.
closest one kind of to 6?
Yeah.
All right, not a bad estimation technique. Okay, last one. And I'm pretty sure that you can use scratch paper, and so if you wanted to, you could use graph paper for something like this. It says 3 vertices of a parallelogram are -3, -2, -1, 4, and 5, 0. And so you need to find the coordinates of these missing points. Which one do you like? None?
What?
I need a parallelogram. I've got 3 points. Where's the 4th point go for parallelogram? There's actually a lot of different options for this. What? 2, -6. So if I go and put the point down here, how do you know that makes a parallelogram? What would have to be true about those two? Have to be the same, and the slopes would have to be the same. So this is down 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is down 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So close, but that one will not work.
Can you just draw like a straight line like off
What?
of the points?
B, 5, 6.
5, 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that the parallelogram is going to go up like that. That doesn't look very good to me. Because this is straight up and down, right? And this is going to be slanting, so those two sides are not going to be parallel to each other. What did you say, Rich?
I said, can you just like draw a straight line off of like one of the points? Like draw like the 5 and try to like match up. Like go like draw a straight line through one dot.
Like that?
No.
Okay.
I was thinking a different way.
What? So you're saying that this one right here is 2 to the left of that, and so that means this x coordinate has to be 2 to the left of that. Okay, I like that. So we know it's going to be on this line somewhere. And then this one right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 below it. And so this one has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 below it also. That's right there. Okay. So instead of doing a guess and check, she figured out the slope in between these 2 points, and then copied that over here. So this is to the left 2 and down 6. So she went from this point to the left 2 and down 6, which ends you up at 3, -6, which, no, 3, -7. Did I count wrong? No. Okay. So that doesn't work. And the problem with that is we could have gone in a different direction, right? Because it could be, whoa. Okay. Uh-oh. Now we're really in trouble. Come back. Come back. Okay. It could be up here somewhere, right? So if I go from here to here instead, then that's over 2 and up 6. So if I go over 2 and up 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that ends me up there at 7, 6. Is that what the answer is?
Yeah, can you just do like the guess and check very much?
Sure. So that's answer B.
Bay.
Bye. All right, make sure your name's on them.